Bernard Baseball here. Welcome to episode 2 of T2-O-Tuesdays. This is the second episode in a new series we started where we look at old T206 tobacco cards. Here is the one from episode number 1. If you missed that, go back and watch it when you're done watching this video, and make sure you subscribe to our channel. Josh actually bought that card with his birthday money that he got for his 10th birthday. And now we're on to episode 2 because Josh told me I'm not a serious collector if I don't have a T206 card also. And it's got to be a Hall of Famer like Josh's. Bobby Wallace there, and Josh's card's a Hall of Famer. So, I took care of that problem. I bought one on eBay. It's right there in a package. We're going to rip it open and see who I got. So, Noah, you want to be the one to open this one?
Sure. Oh, yeah, take this one.
All right, our second ever T206 card. What do we got here?
Let's say.
Who is it, Noah?
I'm going to tell you one more so. Boom.
Let me see it. Roger Bresnahan with a bat.
Now it's time for me to get one.
That's beautiful.
That is.
Piedmont back.
Piedmont back. Our other back was Sweet Cap.
Capper.
So now we have two different backs. Our other front with Bobby Wallace was a portrait.
And this one's an action
This one's
shot.
an action shot. He's got a bat. Let me see this here for the camera. I don't know how this only got a 1, but this is a beautiful looking card.
I see the reason. There's some creases right
Yeah,
here.
but a 110-year-old card. Some minor creasings to be expected. Beautiful looking card, man. Beautiful card.
Cack. Next episode,
Slow center.
the boy has to get one because I don't have one yet.
That's a good point, Noah. Maybe next episode you should get the card.
Because I'm a serious collector, but Josh saying if you don't have one of those, you're not a serious collector.
Okay, so episode 3 is going to be Noah's card then?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Noah, you got it. Episode 3 next Tuesday will be yours. And it wouldn't be T206 Tuesdays if we didn't give a little bit of background on who Roger Bresnahan is and why I picked him for my first T206 card. He played 17 seasons in the major leagues, and he was elected to the Hall of Fame in 1945. He was primarily a catcher, and he formed one of the greatest pitcher-catcher duos of all time with Christy Mathewson. He actually started out, though, as a pitcher, and he actually played all 9 positions in the major league also.
Everybody starts out as a pitcher in the 1900s.
Yeah, that is common. Didn't Bobby Wallace start out as a pitcher, too? So both these guys started out as pitchers. Roger Bresnahan, he was born in Toledo, Ohio in 1879. And he made his major league debut in 1897 with the Washington Senators as a pitcher. And he actually threw a 6-hit shutout that game against the St. Louis Browns. But after that 1897 season ended, he couldn't agree on a contract with Washington. He wanted $2,400 a season, which was what I think the maximum at the time. And they were only willing to give him $2,000. So they went their separate ways, and he ended up playing the next 3 seasons for teams like the Toledo Mud Hens, where he was from, and the Minneapolis Millers, Buffalo Bisons, and the Chicago Orphans before he eventually joined the Baltimore Orioles in 1901 with manager John McGraw. And Bresnahan was still pitching at the time for the Orioles, and their starting catcher got hurt. And he then complained to the manager how bad the backup catcher was doing. So he said, hey, why don't you go try it then? So he did, and it actually turned out he was a great catcher, so he kind of stuck at that position. Eventually, his manager, John McGraw, ended up becoming the manager of the New York Giants, so he followed McGraw over there and started playing for them. In 1903, Bresnahan was 4th in the league in hitting. He was only 5 points behind Honus Wagner, and he was 2nd in the league in on-base percentage that year. And in 1905, him and Christy Mathewson led the New York Giants to a World Series victory that year over Connie Mack's Philadelphia A's. Roger led all players in the World Series with a .313 batting average. As good of a player as he was also known as much for his equipment innovations. Back then, they didn't have a lot of protective equipment you see now. They didn't even have helmets. And he was kind of a pioneer in that field, working on, safety equipment. He's actually the first player to ever wear shin guards as a catcher. And he said he really got ridiculed for it by the other other teams and stuff like that for wearing these shin guards, but it stuck, and now everybody has a bunch of protective gear. Later in his career, he ended up being a player and manager for the St. Louis Cardinals, but the owner of the team died, and his niece inherited the team, and Roger didn't see eye to eye with her, and they argued a lot, and he ended up trying to buy the Cardinals from her several times, but she refused to sell them, and eventually she fired him and sold him to Chicago because there was rumors that he didn't field a strong lineup the one game and kind of threw the game against his old team and his buddy John McGraw with the New York Giants so that the Giants could win a key game that they needed. And after his playing days were over, he ended up buying his hometown team, the Toledo Mud Hens, who had actually been recently moved to Cleveland and renamed the Cleveland Spiders. Not the same Cleveland Spiders from the last video that had the worst record in the history of Major League Baseball in 1899. This was actually a new team that called themselves the Spiders there.
Did not know that they copied the Cleveland Spiders names.
I know it's so confusing with these old teams. Everybody moved, everyone changed names and renamed themselves the same stuff. It's just these old teams, man. You really gotta be a historian to keep these things straight. All right, guys, thanks for watching our second edition of T2-O-Tuesdays. Make sure you tune in next week. We're getting a third card, and this is going to be Noah's card. Hope it's as awesome as these two here. These are beautiful cards. Look how rich the color is on that Bresnahan we just got,
That's
man.
awesome. I hope it's better.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Whatever it is, it's going to be awesome. You better tune in. Make sure you tune in for sure. You don't want to miss that. Subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss anything.
But not baseball. Peace out.
Yeah!